Now it's just like, okay, I know I gotta read these 70 pages for crim law, but I'm gonna make sure like I'm okay first, and then I'm gonna go read. Because either way it goes, is I get done. So I may as well, give myself what I need in order for it to get done effectively.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to another Tea Time with Letitia on Gratified Grad, where it's my goal to help you graduate with gratification. Today's tea is a white tea. I had to talk to today's guest and ask her to help me out to let me know if I was steeping it right because it just looks so clear. But it is, these are the actual leaves, and it is called Shumi white tea, known to be full of vitamins and minerals, and it helps to lower blood pressure. It helps to lower blood pressure, reduce bad cholesterol, and improve blood circulation and regulate sugar levels. So if you're diabetic, this may be an interesting tea to try to see how it works with your body. But of course, I am not a licensed professional, and don't go trying nothing and saying that I'm the one that told you to do it because I'm not responsible.
Right.
And with that, I'm going to let today's guest introduce herself and her tea.
Hello, my name is Crystal Smith, and I am a 2L at Florida A&M University College of Law. And my tea today is chai tea. I started drinking chai tea when I first got here because after about a month of law school, I was sleepy like every day. So once I started drinking chai tea, it promoted energy. So big energy boost for me because I definitely need it when dealing with law school. It also promoted heart health, which is something that's pretty big in my family. So I definitely think that's a plus with the tea. And also, it promotes weight loss for my sisters that just, want to try something new, something not as rigorous as the other stuff that I've seen people try. And that's my tea for today.
What high school did you graduate from?
SS Murphy High School in Mobile, Alabama.
Yes, go Panthers.
Go Panthers.
So, oh, and by the way, y'all, I tried it and it actually tastes really good. I'm gonna be honest. I looked at it and looking at this, I thought it was gonna taste like some leaves.
I was wondering how it's gonna taste. So I'm happy that it is.
Yeah, it does not taste like too earthy. It has like a little bit of a kind of like a oh, kind of like a hint of sweetness, but a little bit of earthy, very undertone. It has a unique flavor. I'll give it that, and it's not horrible. It's better than green tea or black tea.
Listen, the green tea.
Yeah. So I typically have grad students come and talk. I've had one medical student, and I believe you are the first actual law student. So
Okay.
you're gonna have to spell a little couple things out to us. Like
Okay.
you said 2L.
I'm sorry. And I'm over here just talking like everybody understands what I'm saying. So this is my second year of law school. So essentially I'm a second year law student. And so
Oh,
that's what, yeah, the 2L stands for. And when you first come in, you're 1L, and I'm almost a 3L, and then I'll be out of there. So,
okay. So it's an equivalent to first year, second year, third year, plus
mhm.
year graduate student.
Listen, yeah, so that's pretty much what it means.
So what is it like being a law student? I know a couple of law students, but I've never just asked to see is there a difference between being a graduate student and a law student? I know like we take courses for a couple of semesters and then we get into doing our research and we stop taking courses and we're just doing research until we graduate. What is that process to being a law student?
Um, so I'll say this. Have fun during your undergrad years, okay? Have fun during your undergrad years. They are extremely important. So how it works is, well, Florida A&M is slightly different than other law schools, but now
Also,
there's
shout out to the HBCU.
yes, the HBCU law school student, but um, my HBC. But they start you off by selecting your classes for you, and that's like the general basis of like what you need to take, like tort and property law and contracts and stuff like that. With us at Florida A&M, we started off with 6 classes, and then the second semester we went to 7 because they added constitutional law. And now as a 2L, I more so get to pick my classes, but we do still have some required courses that we have to take in order to graduate. So it's a bit of the same as far as like you're required to take certain classes, but then ultimately you kind of branch off into what you're, going to specialize in or whatever you think you may be interested in.
Okay, so are you taking classes from the time you start to the time that you graduate from law school?
Yes. So
okay.
What they'll do is if you're a student who decides to go to school during the summer, you won't have to do as much during the fall and spring. So in order to graduate law school, you have to have 90 credits. So it's 90 credit hours, and typically people who don't do summer school, they'll do 15 hours one semester, 15 hours the next. But if you decide to go to summer school, you can do up to 9 credits, and then that'll lessen your credit hours. Like I have a friend, he's a really great friend of mine because he helped me get through law school. And he's taking 3 classes, but he's in field placement. And so with field placement, you're working, and then that gives you credit. So like, it just depends on where you are on the scale of credits. Okay.
So you're not only are you taking classes, but you're also working in some type of law firm or something like that?
Mm-hmm. Some students decide to do that. Some students don't because of how rigorous law school can be. Some students choose not to work. Some do. You don't have to do field placement, but you do have to do something like trial practice where you go to the courthouse and that'll be your credits, or you do a clinic or something like that, and then that'll be your credits that count towards your experimental learning.
Oh, okay, okay. So it sounds pretty similar to the other degrees and processes that, people I've talked to, where I know I was talking to Erica Yost, and she was saying how with one of her classes, she is teaching, and her like working as a teacher fulfills part of that class requirement. And it's kind of the same thing for me in the sense of like, I am a research assistant, but also me doing my research assistant work is getting me closer to my degree because I'm doing experiments to get my degree.
Right. And those credits will count towards your degree, and you need those credits because they're required. So yeah, it's essentially the same.
Okay. Well, that is nice to know. I've never really asked anybody what the process is for getting a law degree. So thank you for sharing.
You're welcome. So I picked self-care because when I first got to law school, I had the same mindset that a lot of people have during the modern time, which is, I sleep when I'm dead, and, I figure this out, but honestly speaking, it wasn't until last semester, and last semester was literally when I was at the worst, and I couldn't do anything but just sit here in it, because law school doesn't care if, you're having a bad day. Law school doesn't care that COVID is going on, and law school doesn't care that friendships and relationships are going, at a disarray. Law school doesn't care about any of that. So it's up to you to choose yourself first, and that's on a spiritual level, an emotional level. I said emotional, spiritual, emotional, psychological level. So you have to literally choose yourself first, and everybody's self-care routine will be different. With me, it took me going back home. I literally went back home. And honestly speaking, I say self-care because I know if law school does it, I'm sure other graduate programs do it as well, where I felt guilty for washing my hair. it got to a point where it was like, I want to go home. This is a 7 to 8 hour drive, but I'm missing this many hours of studying. So I've literally talked to my mom on the phone before, and I've been like, I can't come home right now because this is 14 hours that I could be studying. And that's when I realized, like, wait a minute, you got to get a grip. You have got to slow down, because if you don't, you'll lose yourself in the process. I think law school generally molds you. And I don't mean in a way of like, oh, she's smart. Oh, she's not smart. No, it will mold you all the way around. Law school will humble you in every single way. So it's honestly up to you to promote your self-care, because honestly speaking, when you pour back into yourself, you're able to pour more out into everyone else. And once you do that, then it'll always come back to you, and then it'll always be positive. So when like, think of it as working out. You get up and you're like, I gotta work out, I gotta do this. But then if you're looking at it as, this will be beneficial to me if I did this, instead of I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to, like, this is beneficial to me if I do. And then once you start getting those results, it'll make you want to get up and go. But if I'm negative every single day, at some point, I'm gonna be like, I'm staying in bed. I'm gonna stay in bed. So honestly speaking, I think self-care will promote a positive mindset for students. And once they get that positive mindset, then it'll promote self-discipline. Because if I'm not positive about this program or this whole, me going to law school thing, I do not think that I would still be here. And it doesn't matter how much people around you love you. It does not matter. And it matters, but ultimately the love they have for you, if you're not giving it to yourself, then it will not resonate. It will not resonate the same. And you have to be able to love yourself first. Put yourself first. I'm telling you, there have been days where I was like, I can't go to school today because if I read another 70 pages, this is gonna drive me crazy. And I've literally had to take days where I'm like, no, I have got to stop today. I cannot do this today. And I'm not saying do it every day. Don't do it every day. But it took me talking to one of my closest friends, which is Taylor Aberhart, talking to her, and she's like, listen, you take 30 minutes out of your day and you just do what you need to do to get you together, because it will take you, and it will definitely take you. So I honestly would like to promote self-care, because if you don't take care of yourself, then you won't be able to take care of yourself down the road. And there were certain times during the semester where I literally lost myself, and then I had to stop and just go home and just regroup. And then spiritually, of course, like, I had to put God first. So a lot of stuff that I was stressing out about, I didn't have time for that. So, and then a lot of law school students are type A. So we have to control everything. I know I'm like, I need to know what day, what time, when. I need to know how this is going to go. I need to know where you want me to be. I need to know. But once, like, I let it go, once I let it go and I just let God, honestly, like, this is the best that I've been since I've been in law school.
That is amazing. And you just said so much. And it's so much that I just want to revisit in what you said that I don't even think that we can get it all in. But I resonate with everything that you just said. Like,
I read a post the other day that said, you are literally the person that you're going to be with every single day of your life. Why not love that person? Because, like, we'll give love to everybody else. And I think as women, we do that. We'll go and, love everyone else and do everything but then we don't pour back into ourselves. I can't love my friends and anyone else if I ain't pouring back into myself.
You can't love anyone if you don't love yourself first.
Exactly. If it wasn't for Taylor telling me, because I remember calling her one day and I was like, listen, law school is my life. She's like, nope, back up. It's not your life. This is something that you're choosing to do. And this is just a part of you that you admire. But God is first, always. And then you take care of yourself, and then law school happens. Because if you make that your life, it'll consume you. And then once you graduate and you're working, you're just working and you're not happy. So what happens when you graduate and you work and you're not happy? So now you like in the 18th grade at this point, because that's what I say. Look, let me just make it to the 19th grade. But at this point, you're wasting all of these years and you end up not happy. So you need to focus on yourself within this whole process. It's
right.
about the betterment of you. Always.
That, and I was there my first year of grad school. My first year of grad school, I forgot that I had a bachelor's degree. At the end of my first year, or getting towards the end of my first year of grad school, I was just like, if I don't make it here, I'm done in life. Like, I can look back and I can smile on it now, but in the time, like in the actual moment, it was like I didn't know anything else beyond what I was doing.
It's always do or die. It's like do or die. That's ultimately what it is. And once she put that in perspective for me, because like I said, last semester for me was like one of the worst semesters I've ever experienced. It was like personal, outside school, and then I had a paper I had to write, and if you don't do a B+ or above, you can't graduate. Like it was a lot. And I had so many friends here who loved me, but I felt alone. And it was because I didn't love myself the way that they were loving me. So once I stepped back and just, got up and I went out for a walk. If that was gonna make me feel better, I did that. If me pigging it out with some fries and chicken and watching TV, I did that because I needed that reset just to clear my mind. You got 70 pages in this class, you got 50 pages in this class, you got 25-page paper to write. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot. And then personal added onto it. So
right.
Let me tell you, if I don't promote anything else, self-care, I'm telling you, it will get you through. It will get you through. Put God first and take care of yourself. It will get you through.
And I think that also, I realized this a little bit later on, like I'm saying a little bit, I realized this maybe 2-3 months ago, that I'm actually pretty good at my own self-care. Mm-hmm. Like for the longest, I just thought I was being selfish. And my choice to, only talk to people at certain times or certain days of the week, and, scheduling, like saying that I'm only going to have meetings in the afternoons, and, saying that my mornings are for me to do what I need to do for myself and for my work. I used to feel like I was being selfish, and I had just owned it. And I said, you know what? If this is what is being selfish, then I'm going to be selfish.
Right.
And it wasn't until I talked to Dr. Courtney Tucker, who also did a video on here with me. And she was telling me, washing your hair is self-care. Mm-hmm. Taking the time to make yourself a healthy dinner is self-care. Mm-hmm. Getting on the phone and talking to your friends is self-care. Like, they glamorize self-care nowadays and say that,
it's the go. Let's go to the spa. Go to the spa. No, it does not. I'm telling you, self-care. Go to your balcony and get some of that fresh air. I'm telling you. Right. And it wasn't until Taylor was like, listen, you section off those 30 minutes. Don't get on the phone. Don't do nothing. You sit there. You do whatever it is you feel like doing. Whatever it is. Because I know my best friend got tired of me calling her crying Lord every week. And now I'm like extremely happy. I remember, like I said, I felt so alone here. And I know that energy was going towards the friends that I have here. And I realized it one day when I got around one of my friends and she goes, you feel so light now. Like your energy is just so light now. And that was one of the best compliments that I had ever received because I felt heavy every day. But now it's just like, okay, I know I got to read these 70 pages for crim law, but I'm going to make sure like I'm okay first and then I'm going to go read. Because either way it goes, it's going to get done. So I may as well, you know, give myself what I need in order for it to get done effectively. Because when you aren't thinking positive, when you aren't taking care of yourself, nothing sticks.
Right, right.
Nothing sticks. So, you know, I'm just going to promote that self-care.